What do you say to young men who come to you for advice, who feel lost, who don't really know where they fit into society?
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you. You're only going to be cared about based on how useful you are. You have the chance to build yourself up and become a superhero if you're prepared to do the hard work and be indefatigable enough to never quit. But if you're going to stand around and wait for a handout, nobody's going to ever respect you. And I think that a lot of people have forgotten about how difficult and how competitive it is as a man. We're always in constant competition with each other. And it's your duty as a man to stand up and say, I want to be as important and strong and good-hearted and God-fearing as possible, and I need to work hard to achieve those things. Masculine men have a duty to provide and protect those they care about. We have a duty to do things we don't feel like doing because we know we're supposed to do them. And that's why we stayed in the Titanic and died. We need to be teaching young men to understand that the world is very, very difficult. It's hard to be a man. You're going to feel bad sometimes. You just suck it up and perform anyway. Not to sit there and cry your eyes out or blame other people.
Tough being a woman too in modern society.
It's certainly tough being a woman, but I'm not a woman, so why would I speak on issues I do not understand? I'm a man.
Because every man deals with heartbreak and deals with sadness, but how you use that energy is the differentiator between humans, right? You are feeling the same pain that many men have felt. I, as a man, every man out there has had his heart broken and understands how difficult it is as a man. We all know how hard it is to see the girl you love getting plowed. Yeah, getting plowed by someone else, like you have to deal with now. You can log into our OnlyFans and see it. The difference between me and you, and perhaps some of the other men out there, is that certain men take that anguish and take that sadness and understand that energy could not be destroyed, it can only be converted, and use it to build themselves into a man of absolute standing and power. As a man, you must build yourself into a man of credibility, which means to build yourself into a man of standing, we all start in a fairly similar position. I became me through tedious, arduous, difficult, never-ending work.
I think we're here to struggle and to learn. I don't think we're here to be happy. That's why when we keep going back to the happy argument, I've always found that kind of frustrating and annoying. Yeah. When someone goes, oh, but I want to be happy. Why? Why do you want to sit there and laugh? Like you were happy your entire childhood. That's your happy days. You're allowed to be happy as a kid. It's all over now, right? You're a man. You have responsibilities. I think we're here to do important. Provide, protect, and we're also here to do important things. And important things are going to be difficult, and they're going to be hard, and you're going to get frustrated. Life is hard. Life is difficult. Maybe I've just been unlucky, which I don't believe in, but I've had so much trauma and bad events and negativity and stress and all these things that have happened to me, and I've used all of it to be monumentally successful. If I wasn't that way inclined, with the workload that God put on my shoulders, I'd just be in a ditch somewhere. Yeah. I would have killed myself by now.
I believe that emotional energy is a lot like a bucket of water. You have all this emotional energy, right? You have a bucket of water. And then you have a bunch of different holes you can pour it down. So I believe if you wake up one day and you feel particularly depressed, you don't feel depressed. You just have a lot of emotional energy that day. Some days you don't have that much emotional energy and life's pretty calm.
It's how you look at the problems and how you use them to fuel you. So the question was, what's the problem for the average man today? What's the biggest problem? I think there's a whole host of problems. But what you have to do is frame it inside of your mind and understand that all of those problems are going to allow you, give you the fuel, the unlimited motivation that you need to become a successful and beautiful individual if you frame it in the right way. If you take a man and give him a life shielded from problems and he never has any to face, I guarantee you he's terrible at being a man. The best men in the world have gone through shit. That's why women love scars. They didn't kill you. That's the whole point of it, right? So the best thing you can do as a man is look and go, okay, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard, this is hard. I feel negative because these are all so difficult. I'm struggling with X, Y, Z. Let me internalize all of that and turn it into a superpower. Let me become genuinely uncomfortable with my situation in life and go and fix things. Because, like I said, the universe is absolutely and utterly very giving. And if you truly hated being in the position you were in, you wouldn't be there right now.
That is the most basic imperative of the masculine frame, which has been destroyed in real time. They are trying to convince you that you should act how you feel. You should show more of your feelings. If you feel this way, you should show it. If you want to cry, cry. What I'm saying is the reason they're trying to bring out emotionality in you is because of exactly what Myron said. Most of the time you don't feel like doing the things you're supposed to do. But the true masculine frame throughout history was doing the things they didn't want to do, but they knew they had to do because they had honor and duty. That's what honor and duty means. Do you think the men on the Titanic wanted to stay on the fucking Titanic? No, we're men. We have to stay. We're scared, but we must. It's our duty to let the women and children on the lifeboats. This is masculine duty.
A good man controls himself. I have absolute self-control. Emotional control is absolutely and utterly important as a man. I'm saying that you need to understand as a man, there are certain principles under which you act, regardless of how you feel. I can wake up in a terrible mood. I can wake up sad. I can ache. I can have a busy day, stressed, etc. I will complete the same tasks as if I woke up in a fantastic mood. I'll do the same things because how I feel has no bearing on the things I'm going to do in my day because I have duty to myself and to my bloodline. Because you think there's something wrong with you. You go, well, I lack motivation. I don't have the motivation to go to the gym. Well, here's the news flash. Neither did I. And I still did it. So now what are you going to say? Now you have no excuse, right? Oh, you're scared to get in the ring. So was I. Still did it. Scared to get in the cage. So was I. I still did it. Being a man isn't about not feeling things. It's about acting the way you're supposed to act regardless of how you feel. We act. We're men of action. We get things done. So the world got built. All of it. All the men who built the skyscrapers felt scared. They did it anyway. You need to become a man of action. Stop worrying about how you feel and start worrying about what you're supposed to be doing. How about that?
I think I had the best possible upbringing a person can have, which is good parents and no money. I didn't get famous or rich young, which I also thank the Lord for. I think a lot of these people who get famous online quite early, I think they miss out a lot of life. It's not real life. I had real jobs and I did real things and I was really broke, really trying to pay rent and doing real stuff for a long time. So I want people to understand I come from the lowest possible socioeconomic background. So I grew up in a very kind of strange world, and I was a professional chess player. I was on my path to being a professional chess player at the age of 5. And then at the age of 11, my mother and father split up. My mom took me back to Luton. I lived in Luton, England, which is the worst town in England. I grew up and went to a school with a 3% pass rate. Everyone around me was stabbing each other and selling drugs. My mother and father broke up and he stayed in America and I moved to England. And he wasn't financially successful, but he taught me other lessons. I think that a harsh upbringing and a harsh life makes a man a man. I don't think you learn a lesson any other way. When I was 15, my first job was carrying boxes of fish from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. And I would run to work, so I'd leave the house at 6, I'd run an hour, I'd get there at 7, I'd finish work at 5, and then I'd run from there to the fight gym. I'd get there early before training started, I'd eat food next to the gym, and then I'd train, and then I would get a ride home from my girlfriend at the time. So my entire life was 17 hours a day of just running and working and carrying boxes and fighting. And I can't be more thankful. You know, I don't want to be arrogant, but I'm going to. I really do believe I've had the perfect life. I'm so glad I got to grow up poor because I wouldn't appreciate money if I didn't. And I'm so glad I got to spend my 20s, that decade where you're as powerful as possible fighting. And I'm so glad I couldn't pay my bills so that I appreciate now all the money I have. And I'm so glad all these bad things happened to me. I just really feel like it's been the perfect path. And I think back on how my life was back then and I realized that I wouldn't appreciate any of the things I have now without them. The best thing about being rich is talking about how you used to be poor. Otherwise, it's no point being rich at all. You're not going to enjoy any of it. The reason I'm so happy, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I'm happy every day, is because I wake up in a big ass house and I realize that I don't have to worry about rent the next day and everything's fine. I think being rich is as good as I imagined it to be when I was poor, but I would have never appreciated the money if I didn't have the poor side. So I've been from the absolute bottom to the absolute top. I've seen it all. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. People go, oh, I don't feel good. I say, good. Your life as a man is going to be terrible the entire time. Having tears run down my face as I'm doing push-ups is different than sitting and crying. I didn't sit and dedicate myself to crying. My eyes leaked as I achieved. Throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. The storms are going to come. Well, it says in the Quran, just because you believe, you think Allah will not test you. Just because you believe in me, you think you're not going to be tested. But that's how God shows love. Yeah, because God's love is a disciplinarian love. It's like a father. A father shows love through putting you on the bike, letting you fall over, letting you hurt your knee, picking you back up, putting you back on the bike. That's how a father shows love, and God is the same. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man. So what I say to men is, look, life's hard, it's always going to be hard. The only way to get out is to become excellent and perform at a level where your echelon is so high that you get to live this brand new experience. You need to become strong and smart and interesting and charismatic, powerful, well-known. You need to do it.
I became world champion, just became European champion. And like you said, we didn't have enough protein in our diet. I became world champion without even food. And you got these kids with millions and millions and millions, they ain't got a six-pack. It's embarrassing.
How do you have so much energy?
So I don't waste my life force. I haven't been to any stupid concerts. I don't take any stupid drugs. I'm not cheering for a sports team. All of my life force is inside of me so I can master the 7 styles of Aikido and tell the conservatives are fucking dorks. They're nerds. I'm the man who will struggle to the end. Let's imagine 20 alligators got hold of me and they got lucky and somehow managed to decimate me. Until the last second where I lost consciousness, I would be snapping necks of alligators. I refuse to die. I'm that guy. I don't waste an ounce of my life force on anything that's unimportant. So I refuse to be distracted. The Matrix must have distracted me. But like Andrew Tate is a threat. He's full of power, and he believes in God, and he's a slick talker, and he motivates people. We have to distract this man. We have to give him something he's interested in outside of fighting the Matrix. And they're trying to come at me with all these beauty queens, and I'm resisting it all. No, I have a mission. I'm on the mission. We must let the people at home know that enslavement's coming for their entire life and their bloodline unless they resist. Stop watching the fucking Super Bowl. Stop going to stupid concerts. And instead, be motivated about your family's future. Nobody lacks energy and motivation. You just focus it in the wrong directions. And it's the same with these sports teams. If everybody cared about their country, like they care about these stupid fucking sports teams, then or cared about their family, then the world would be fixed. We all have an innate energy inside of us. We all have a life force. And most people are just directing it in the wrong direction completely. The Matrix has come along and it's distracted us all with bread and circuses.
All you had to do was work these last few years. Could be a millionaire. You could prolong the life of your loved ones with medical care. You could save your mother from being coarsened in the labor market. And you still didn't try. Maybe you're all just born to fucking lose. No matter how hard I scream down the side of the mountain, climb! It's great up here, you can make it. You just don't seem to want to try. I'm trying to convince you to do something you should already want to do, which is win. And you still just laid in bed at night after an average day of meager efforts. You went to bed broke and slept like a baby. You've missed a lot of chances, but there is still a chance left. And you can still save your bloodline. And you'll sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then 16 minutes after this stream ends, you're gonna be back on Steam, downloading COD like a dip. I'm gonna go movies with my girlfriend. I'm gonna buy a beer. You wasted your fucking time. You could have been a somebody. If you would have just done what you knew needed to be done, you would be sitting in a completely different situation right now. Your bloodline would be financially free for eternity. Instead, you will die insignificant and be forgotten by your own blood. Your dynasty leads to nowhere.
You meet somebody wealthy? Their family at one point was not wealthy. And then the one shows up. One person changes the family tree forever. In my family, I'm the one. I want to fight for my family. I want my mom and dad proud of me. I want me proud of me. I want to look in the mirror and be happy with the man I look back at, that he gave it everything, that he went for it. I want you to be happy with you, not cool. I've seen all kinds of cool guys my whole career. They have a good 2 or 3 years. You got to win year after year after year.
Listen to me now. Listen in your heart. Listen to me. Because in 2 years, when I play this video back, you're going to hate yourself for your lack of action. You need to work. You need to dedicate yourself. You need to take these next few months seriously. You need to reflect on your life. You need to stop wasting your time and stop relying on me for temporary bursts of motivation so that you can focus on something for once in your life. Act or fail.
Wake up! You want to win? You want to be a millionaire? You got to quit being so casual. You talk a good game like you're going to be somebody. Business is a sport. It's competitive. You got to get focused. If you make some of these adjustments, man, you can change your life. You can change your family forever. It's not casual. It might be year 2, 3, 4 before you get your big win, but you can decide now, I'm going to walk, talk, and be a different person. You're the lead character in the story of your life. Y'all hear me? Here's the truth. Most people's dreams can be bought. with enough failure, they will sell their children's dreams. Some of you have sold it because you're making a little bit of money. You don't work like you did when you were making nothing. You're probably viable. But if you decided my will cannot be bought, I'll keep fighting for my family. I'm the one. I'm going to change my family tree forever.
Then I saved our entire bloodline because I locked it. This needs to be the future you. It's now or never.
That is you. That is you. That no one can do it for you but you. You must understand that. It's possible. I can live my dream. It's me. I've got to make it happen. It's not over until I win. But the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you that it's hard. It was hard when just over 3 years ago, and I fell on some hard times, and I was sleeping in my office, and it was hard coming through the lobby. And sometimes they would laugh. There's a guy talking about becoming successful. He's bathing in the bathroom upstairs. Look at him. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen. There were times that I doubted myself. There are rough times that are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to believe that you are the one, that you can make your parents proud. You can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. It's not going to be easy. It was hard laying on the floor, looking out of the window, daydreaming, saying, Les, can you do this? And something said within me, you're the one. You're the one.
You ever say to yourself, man, it's got to be more to my life than this? If you've ever said that, that's because it is. If normal is getting on your nerves, then you got to change something. Because that shit get on your nerves, man. Being mediocre was driving me crazy. Poverty, I was sick of it. I was so bored in my life, man. I was so tired of being mediocre. I was mediocre because I wasn't doing the things to be exceptional.
Work harder, try harder, lock in, forget all excuses and act with speed. This is a huge, important period in your life when it comes to your success and your finances. If you're not going to try now, when are you going to try? You have no excuse to not make money. All you have to do is try. I'm tired of yelling at you. There's only so much you can do to inspire a sheep to become a wolf.